Another part, let's start over. Take 16. Woo! All right, here we are once again. We're now on Driving Thoughts. So this is where me, Steven Adams, salon owner out of Minneapolis, St. Paul, where I just drive and talk. And I'm just talking about whatever's going through my mind. So today, what I want to think about and what I've been kind of like thinking about is purpose. So the last segment that I talked about was a little bit about brand and culture and kind of like the core values of everything, that kind of the glue that holds everything together. To have a successful business, there's a couple other key things you got to have. You got to have a purpose. What is your purpose of your business? And then second of all, the second question about purpose is, what is the purpose of an employee or a person who works in that business? So there's two different things. You got what is the purpose of the business, but what is the purpose of that person that works in the business? So we're going to dig into that. Ready? Here we go. I can only speak on my behalf of like what my purpose is, you know, and it says actually on our website, our purpose is to make the world a more beautiful place, one person at a time. That's the purpose of my business. We want to make people look and feel amazing. We want to make them feel as if they've been heard. We want to make sure that they are understood. We want them to like celebrate in their individuality. So what does that mean? I mean, to me, I can tell you what that means. To me, I want to make sure that every person that walks into my salon and leaves my salon feels as if they're more beautiful than they were when they came in. Whether it's exterior, interior, however, I just want them to feel more beautiful. That could be from the conversations that they've had, or it could be from how their hair services were done. But I want them to feel more beautiful. Really vital. The next thing is that I want them to feel as if they are understood and heard. What this means is I want them to feel as if our employees or our people that work there actually took the time to listen, not to talk, but to listen to what they were saying, what they wanted, to what they need, to what their challenges are, so that that customer, I want them to feel as if they were understood, like we built a connection where it's all connected together. Wanted to make sure that they feel as if they belong there, like we almost read their mind. I think that's a vital part of great customer service. I want them to celebrate their individuality. To me, it's really important to make sure that we realize that each person is going to be different. As a company, we have to understand that each person that walks in the door has a different set of expectations. They have a different idea of what's beautiful. They have a different idea of what they're about. They have a different idea about everything in life. And we want to embrace that. We want to celebrate that. And what happens is that our clients don't and will not look like everybody else. Have you ever walked into a salon and every client looks exactly the same? Have you ever walked into a business and every employee looks the same? We don't want that. We want individuality. I want every employee to look different. I want every customer to look different. And we want to celebrate our differences. Everything from different ethnicity to different gender to different hair color to different cuts to different styles. But to do that, to celebrate all that, we need to have that education and that social education to be really solid behind. And then we have to listen very carefully to make sure that we are truly understanding that customer so that we can communicate with them really well. It's not an easy job. It's actually a lot of work to be able to do that. And this is our goal and my goal and my purpose of having this salon. So the Moxie Hair Salon purpose is to celebrate individuality, to make sure that that customer feels relaxed, happy, in a friendly environment where they're understood and listened to, so that they can leave the salon and feel more beautiful than they did when they walked in. That's the purpose of the salon. Now that's the business side. That's the business purpose. So what is the purpose of the people who work there? And that includes me because of my purpose. So what is my purpose? My purpose is to fulfill that, to care about the clients, to care about the business, and to care about my education. So the purpose of an employee is a little bit different, but it's tied into everything else. It's to care about the brand and the business. It's to care about that client, really care about what they're doing. The minute you take a client for granted, you're no longer caring for that client. You can't care for something if you take it for granted. Have you ever got a really fancy, cool toy? I did as a kid once in a while. And you were so excited about it, or even better yet, you bought a car. Your first car, or your first brand new car, or whatever it is, you bought it. You're really excited about it, and you're nervous. And what you do is you care about it so much that you buff it, you shine it, you wash it, you make sure nobody keyed it. You're always watching out for scratches and little scrapes, and you're making sure that it's always cleaned on the inside. It's in pristine shape because you care about it. But as it ages, you get used to it. And you're you know what? It kind of needs a bath, but I'll do it next week. The next week it's I'll do it next week. And you start to downgrade it just a little bit. You don't care about it quite as much. It's a car. No big deal. Just a car. And then slowly, next thing you know, at least this has happened to me in my past, next thing I know, I'm there's fast food wrappers in the car, or I've left all my belongings in the trunk and I don't care if someone steals it. And it's just all of a sudden, it's just a utilitarian travel pod. It's no longer my car. I don't really care about it that much anymore. It's just kind of yeah, whatever. We can't let that happen to clients, because what happens is they're really great. The first time that a client comes in, we give them the best treatment and the best service ever. It's amazing. We're on top of our game. It's absolutely incredible. But then, second time, we're a little casual. Third time, we're a little more casual. The fifth time, a little more casual. Like a year or two in, we're just like, hey, what's up? You're my best bud. Let's go get drinks. We'll cut your hair later. We'll color your hair later. And we stop giving the customer care that we need to give. And the customer care that we need to give is like educating them on what they need for their hair. I mean, could you imagine going to a doctor and just be like, doctor's like, hey, what's up, bud? Hey, you're looking pretty good. Yeah, let's go out instead. Let's cut it short today. I'm feeling like, you know, you're looking good. Let's just cut it short. No big deal. Don't need a physical today. Yeah. Good. You're all good. You know what that does? All of a sudden, it's like, how do you feel about that doctor? Like, I wanted a professional opinion because I feel like I got this sting in my back and he just said it's all good. It's weird. I still got that sting in my back. He didn't even let me talk about it. We want to make sure that we're like, our purpose is to make sure that client feels fulfilled. That we fulfilled the purpose of the business. We have fulfilled our duty. Making sure that they feel better. Making sure that they feel like they're heard. Making sure that they feel understood. Making sure that they feel more beautiful. We want to make sure that anybody who walks out that door is happy. And if they're not happy, they should not walk out that door. And they definitely should not pay for it. Should never pay to be unhappy. I mean, that's just terrible. Terrible way of doing business. I mean, I don't want to pay to be unhappy. I don't think anyone else does either. So we want to really just think about what we can do to make sure that clients don't pay to be unhappy. Our purpose is to make sure that we're fulfilling the purpose of the business, making sure the customer has exceptional care, and make sure that everyone's happy. That's really it. Not just the client, but everybody is happy. Like, we want to not cater to everybody, but make sure everybody's happy. Make sure that everyone's on a good page. That's the purpose of the employee. The purpose of the business is important. You gotta have a purpose. Sometimes I've asked people, I'm like, hey, what's your purpose? And they're like, what? What do you mean? I'm like, no, you have to have a purpose. What is your purpose? And as an employee, you gotta know what your purpose is. If you don't know what your purpose is, it's not gonna lead you to the right path. You gotta see what your purpose is. You gotta know where that path is. And you gotta fulfill it through customer service. At least in our business, you gotta fill it through customer service. You gotta fill it through the purpose of our business. And you gotta fulfill it through education. Your purpose is to become educated and constantly better. If you're not improving and you're not growing, you're not reaching your purpose. And we want to make sure that every single person that works for us reaches their purpose. Their purpose is to increase. It's kind of like, I like asking this question. Why do we go to work? Someone asked me this once, one long time ago, and they asked the same question to me. They're like, Steven, why do you go to work? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I don't know. It's like I go to work to make people feel good because I'm a hairdresser. I go to work and I like do hair, and I like to do hair because it's artistic. These are all good reasons, right? They are. But why do people go to work? The core of it is, yeah, we get to make people feel better. Yes, we get to be artistic. But the core, and the solid core of why we go to work, it's going to sound crazy, to make money. We're purely go into work to make money. It's why our parents went to work. It's why people do business. It's everything is about so we can make money so that we can spend money. It's our culture. It's the culture of the United States. The culture of the United States is a capitalistic culture where we go to work to make money so we can spend money. No matter what your belief is, that's reality. You gotta make money to pay your rent or your house payment. You gotta make money so you can pay for your car payment or to buy a car. You gotta make money to buy groceries. You gotta make money. You gotta go to work. Why not find a place where you can go to work that has core values that you believe in, that has a purpose of what it's trying to achieve, and where they're offering you to have a purpose so that you can make money and enjoy it. I was talking to my son earlier today, and we were talking about jobs, and we were talking about making money, and we were talking about life choices. And it was interesting because he was laughing. He's like, "You work so much, Dad." And I cannot lie, I do work a lot. I work basically, pretty much 6-7 days a week. Now, that doesn't mean I'm always behind the chair working, but if I'm not working behind the chair doing clients, I'm making videos. I'm doing educational videos. I'm doing education across the country, or I started a nonprofit. I'm working with that, the Nonprofit Education Association. I also work on the state board of Minnesota, so I'm part of the board of cosmetology for the state of Minnesota, so I'm working there. I own 2, and I'm in the process of building a 3rd salon. So I also own businesses where I gotta work on my business. I gotta go in, help make sure the money's good, work with my business partner and talk about marketing skills and build websites and blah, 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 blah. Basically, I work 7 days a week, all the time. Day 1, day 2. Now, I work to make a living, but I also work for a purpose. Does this make sense? I think it's important. I'm doing this to make money, because if I was doing all this and I was not making any money, I would change what I was doing. And that's why I do change, because if it's things I'm not working, if things I'm doing don't work, I gotta change. But I'm doing this to make a living. I have to make a living because I got rent, college, student loans, car payment, blah, 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 blah. Bills up to bills, and more bills. So I'm doing all this for a purpose, and I'm doing this to make money. But it doesn't feel like work. I mean, yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. But then there's other times where you're like, I can just keep going. I can keep going. Yeah, I'm going to keep going. And so when I feel that, I just keep going, and I just keep going crazy. Because when you get in that role, it's a lifestyle. I don't mind working hard. I have no problem working hard. I think it's important to work hard. And it's important to take breaks. Like I took a break last weekend and I took a class. I took a 3-day class. Not only did I take the class, but then I was working with Nick Arocho. I went and took the class from him, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, we're going to go cut hair at our buddy Jeff's place. So I'm like, all right. So I went and did a couple of models, and then, hey, we're going to be doing a Happy Monday. And I ended up doing another presentation. So even though I'm here on vacation taking a class, I was also working by teaching and sharing more information. So it becomes a lifestyle. So when you can find that balance and you can find a place and a job and a career that fits your purpose in life, and you can do it and make money so you can live, then you can create the success of whatever you want. And then work doesn't seem like work, and it becomes more of a life choice. I speak a lot to students and in beauty schools, and when I do talk to them, I'm always trying to remind them a little bit of this, and the fact that it's always interesting. You walk into a school and start talking about salon owners and blah blah blah, and they own a company. They always ask a couple of things. First question that they always ask, and it's pretty much always, oh my God, I want to go work somewhere that has advanced education. Do you have advanced education? And I'm like, yes, our salon does offer advanced education. Second question, 2 seconds before you could even finish what you were going to say, second question comes out. How long is your training program? Because I just want to get on the floor. Think about that. They love education. They want education. Everybody wants education. And what's the second question? How long is it? They don't put 2 and 2 together. And that is, education is a lifetime. It's a career choice. When you make a career choice, let's say you want to be a computer programmer. And as a computer programmer, you want to be the best computer programmer. So the first thing you learn is HTML and BASIC and machine language. They probably don't even use those anymore. That's what I learned when I started working with computers, is I learned BASIC and machine language, and I learned Pascal. They probably don't use that anymore either. So, whatever. You learn some of these things. And as you learn these programs, let's say you learn Java, and then C, I think, is it C+? I think so. You learn all C+, and then ASP, and ASP.NET, and you start to put all these together in Python, and you start to like go. You constantly learn, but then all of a sudden, as you are working in your career, something shifts and changes, and all of a sudden Ruby on Rails pops up. Well, you don't know Ruby on Rails. You only know these other programs, so what do? You just stay with doing what you're doing? No, if you want to be the best, you gotta learn the next thing. And you keep improving. And you learn more and more and more and more until you can become the Matrix or something like that. So you can go from computer skills, learning everything from basic, until you become the Matrix. In the hair world, it should be the same way. Advanced education is not a time frame. Advanced education is a life choice. It's a choice to constantly learn and improve. Making sure that you set a time every year, every quarter, whenever you determine it, to better yourself. And the crazy thing is, you can take the same class for 5 years in a row, take the same class over and over and over. And if you're not improving, either that teacher's not good or you're not engaging. But most likely it's because you're not engaging. You got to be able to take the same class over and over and over until you can do it meticulously without thinking. Like, perfect. That's a life choice. That's going to go into our next video, which is all going to be about education. So, you really want to think about where you're going to work, why you work, your purpose, and how you're going to fulfill that.